Today, we are taking a step back. Hi, fellow happy writers. My name is Vivien Reis, and I want to help you write, publish, and market your novel. Today, I'm doing a video that I can't believe I haven't done yet. I'm walking you through my 8 steps to writing a novel. So this is how to write a novel for beginners. There are so many people who always say, oh, I have a story idea, or I've always dreamt of writing a novel, but they don't know where to start or really what writing a novel entails. I think that everyone has the ability to write a novel, so let's jump in. Number 1, idea. Everything starts with that spark of inspiration, but many of us have a million different ideas. So how do we know which one to pursue? The best answer to this question is to stick to the idea that most excites you right now. Many of us will get distracted by another idea while working on a novel. I have 2 story ideas that are eating away at my brain to be written right now, but what helps you stay on track the most is choosing the idea that you're just the most excited about from the get-go. How do you know if it's worth pursuing? I think with proper planning, any idea can be worth pursuing. Some may need more work than others, but if you're willing to put in that work, any idea can be made into a great story. Comment down below with how many story ideas you currently have and use the hashtag HappyWriter for a chance to win a website audit by yours truly. Winner will be chosen tomorrow on Valentine's Day, February 14th, which is my best friend's due date, which means I'm 3 weeks away from my due date. Number 2, second stage is brainstorming. Now that you've chosen which idea you're most excited about, it's time to come up with the rest of the story. If you're writing a science fiction or a fantasy novel, or actually many genres, historical fiction, romance, pretty much anything, you can brainstorm world building elements. Where does your story take place? Character elements, how many characters will there be? Who's your main character? Like, really, who are they? What are their goals? What are their motivations? And what change will they undergo by the end of the story? That's a huge one. I like to create one Google Doc, and I throw all of my brainstorming elements inside that one document, and then I organize it by category. So it's all in one place, and it's organized. So I usually have at least a plot section, a character section, world, general research, and then like a general category. Number 3, outline. I know I lose a lot of people on this one who are pantsers, or people who like to write by the seat of their pants without an outline. Most of us are a combination of an outliner and a pantser, a plotzer, a plantser. They've got a bunch of fancy names for it. So don't subscribe to just one or the other, I mean. Experiment if you've never done any outlining. Likewise, if you've never solely pantsed, just see how that works for you. Since most of us are a combination of the two, outline as much as you need to. Don't go overboard if you don't need to. You may choose to only do quick bullets of the main 10 scenes in your novel if you feel like outlining kills your creativity. I know there are people that feel that. You can outline every scene in your novel if you feel like you get distracted or you need to know where things are going to do your best writing. Take whatever plot points you have from your brainstorming phase and add them to your outline. Go from there and determine how much you really want to outline, how much you need to outline. If it's just a smidge and you plan to pants, just write down what you already know will happen and leave it at that. You never know, something might come up with another juicy plot point just by jotting down those scenes that you already know you're gonna write. Number 4, writing. Once you've finished your outline, it's time to move on to the blank page. This is the scary bit for many people, and it's oftentimes where writer's block will try to take root. I don't believe in writer's block. I think if you're ever stuck in your novel, you need to stop, brainstorm, and outline what will happen in that scene, and then just write it. It doesn't matter if it's crappy writing. In fact, you need to embrace the crappy writing because you're going to be doing a lot of it. It's the only way you're going to be able to finish your novel. Editing will solve whatever issues you have. So for now, just focus on filling that page up with words that are as good as you can currently make them. I have a video on quality versus quantity that I'll link in the iCards and how there's a balance to producing words in volume versus quality. You'll toe this line a lot throughout your writing career, so just get used to it. Number 5, motivation. You need a reason to write this novel. Most writers have at least one, but usually many, many bouts of self-doubt during both the writing phase and the editing phase. And by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, you're gonna have many, many drafts. When I first started writing, I thought every book I'd ever read turned out that way from the first draft, and it was just heaven right out of the gate. I'd love to be able to read a first draft of a popular book that's published and out there. I think it'd make a lot of us feel a lot better about ourselves and our writing, on that first draft especially. But when those periods of self-doubt come in, you need the motivation to push through and keep writing. Some days are definitely better than others. Some days are worse. Some days you love your novel, others you feel like everything is total garbage and you want to permanently delete each file you have so far. Most of us reach that point multiple times through the first draft and subsequent drafts. Hang on to that excitement you felt when the first idea planted itself in your brain. Desperately hang on to it and imagine how accomplished you'll feel when you can finally write the words, "the end," or you finally hit that publish button. That feels pretty dang good too. Number 6, editing. Once you have your first draft completed, it's time to jump into edits. Like I said, your first draft will suck. Just embrace it and move on while writing. Also, don't edit while you write. If you're famous for getting to chapter 5 of your work in progress and then rewriting and editing those chapters until you get sick of them and then you just walk away from the project altogether, don't edit while you write. Don't do it. Separate the two completely. This takes some discipline and is one of the reasons why first drafting is usually so taxing on our mental health. We can see all of the problems mounting up, but we can't stop to fix them until the editing phase. So you just gotta keep pushing through them. How does one edit their novel? Start off with developmental edits. These are the big picture edits. Are you missing any scenes? Do you have to cut some out? Is there a plot hole you found while writing your climax? Start with those big items and work your way down to the smaller items. After developmental edits, you can do your own line edits. Developmental edits are all about what you're trying to say. Line edits are all about how you're saying what you're trying to say. Go through your manuscript and tighten up your narratives, cut out scenes, expand on descriptions, whatever you need. This is the part that usually takes the longest for me, as you're going line by line and editing as you go. You can get a critique partner or a beta reader to give you feedback at any point here, usually at least after the self-developmental edits, sometimes after you do your own line edit, just depends on what you like. If you're traditionally publishing, this may be all the editing that you need to do before querying. If you're self-publishing, you'll move on to the professional editing phase. This is optional for traditional publishers. You'll get to the professional editing phase after you've signed with an agent or a publisher if you're traditionally publishing. That's usually how it works. Number 7, keep pushing. The drafting and editing process takes forever. For most writers, their first book takes years to get to the final polished draft. Keep going. Keep working at it every day if you can, and little by little, before you know it, you'll have a finished novel. Stay focused and trudge on, even when you hate your story, and you will hate your story. Even when you wonder what the heck you're wasting your time on, we all get there. Just keep swimming. Number 8, celebrate. Because you've not only written a novel at this point, you've prepped your novel for publication. Seriously, take the time to enjoy the completion of each draft of your novel. Finishing that first draft is huge. You're already going to want to jump for joy, so do it. Tell everyone you know about it. Go out and have a nice dinner with your partner. Pop a bottle of champagne. It takes so much hard work to finish a novel, so reward yourself. Relish in all those frustrating writing sessions where the words just don't want to come. You pushed through them all, and now you're sitting at a finished manuscript. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this content helpful. Remember to comment down below with hashtag Happy Writer to be entered for an author website audit. Winner will be chosen tomorrow, February 14th. You can also check out my brand new program. in the iCard Streamer to Doer, which launched in December. This course is all about the first steps to finishing and publishing your novel, which is making the time and having the focus and motivation to write that book. The link to the product page is down below. I'll see you next week when I'll be going over my video editing process. I had some interest after a vlog I posted showed I used Adobe Premiere Pro, and I know a lot of people are getting into being author tubers or just YouTubers in general to help market themselves and their novel. Until then, happy writing!